Welcome to Mysteries of Writing, where many topics are taken into deeper perspective. Today's discussion will go over what happens when writer's block strike and what to do about it. First of all, what does writer's block mean? Well, a simple definition for that is whenever you're stuck in writing. So, what does writer's block feel to you? What happens whenever you are in writer's block? Is it the fact that the words are not coming to you while you're writing, or if you are writing this scene or this part of the story, but it just seems to not be there? It feels absent. It feels blank, leaving you with this unsatisfying taste in your mouth. Writer's block feels like a temptation that will cause you to not have the motivation and willpower to write your story. Writer's block can take a span of hours, maybe days, weeks, months. Writer's block is different for everyone. It will not be the same. And writer's block will strike. It will come and go. But when that moment hits, it completely takes you off track from the direction that you were going. No one asks for writer's block to just get in the way. But that's the point about writer's block. Writer's block is meant to prevent you from writing that next thing. Its intention is for you to be distracted and keep you from finishing. And that's every writer's goal. They want to finish the story. But writer's block feels like a barrier in the middle of the road that you simply cannot avoid. But it's ultimately up to you of how you handle writer's block. So there's so many ways that you can get through writer's block. My junior year of high school, I was writing my very first novel. And I wanted this to be great. And this was the next step into my writing journey, from writing novellas into actually writing a real novel in fantasy. And whenever my junior year started, I was around chapter 3. I was getting stuck a lot. And it was becoming very challenging. And at times that I didn't even write for a while. Not because of the amount of schoolwork, of course, but it was really the words weren't coming to me whenever I want the words to come. And in my English 3 class, my English teacher noticed my passion for writing. I talked to him about that I was in writer's block. He gave me this advice. You can't write around writer's block. You have to write through it. And that has stayed with me ever since that day. And what's funny is that the more I thought about not writing around it, but actually writing through it, that got me into finally getting the words that I wanted to have. And at that time, I was at chapter 4, writing a scene after this teenager was very frustrating at hearing something they didn't want to hear. And I was able to write that scene, little pieces at a time, and it all came together. And that solved my problem. By the next time I had that writer's block, that same month, I actually started to write short stories because I couldn't write around writer's block. I had to write through it. So I had to keep writing. And whenever you're in writer's block, you got to keep that writing motivation going. And how you're going to do it is to keep writing. Sometimes we had to write something else in order to get the juice pumping and get it back rolling. Just sitting there and not thinking about the story or just doing nothing about it is not going to get you anywhere. Instead, you're going to just be frustrated at yourself just because the words didn't come to you. And that's what writer's block wants you to think. That's what writer's block wants you to do. And writer's block wants you to diminish. Writer's block wants you to stop having that passion for writing and just do something else that is better worth your time. And I've been going through writer's block a lot in 2023 and 2024 because the words just didn't come to me. And the more times that I went through writer's block, the more I learned to push through it. And that I had to do something else. And just keep going. You just gotta keep going like a train. Like the little engine that could. You just gotta keep chugging and chugging and chugging. And like, choo choo. All the way to the end. So maybe my little story just was like, oh, okay, that was your experience, but I still don't know how to get out of writer's block. Okay, so one of the first ways to get yourself out of the writer's block is that you gotta sit down and write something. You gotta write something, and that's the first step. Because how you get your story into motion is sitting down in the seat and writing the story that you want to tell. And sometimes you might have to be writing random things to get something out. A lot of writers, what they do is that they give themselves writing prompts. And it could be the smallest things. The smallest things can make the biggest difference. So, a lot of writers use these writing prompts to get some words out so they're ready to actually write the real thing. And it doesn't have to be long, and it doesn't have to be a story that has to be published. Because not every story that you write is going to be out there in the world to show off. Sometimes it's actually meant for you to get out of that writer's block. And there is definitely a difference whenever you're writing something just for fun and writing something that you really want to put out there and showcase to everyone. And when you're in writer's block, you're really trying to get out of there. And you need to write something to get yourself out of writer's block, to keep going. Even if it takes you a long time. Even a sentence a day can keep writer's block away. You have to have the motivation in your mind that you can write at least one sentence and build onto that. Even if it takes you a few days to just write one sentence each day, and then maybe like in a week you write like 2 sentences or 3 sentences or even a paragraph. Think of this as a process. Writer's block is this temptation, but how to get out of it is going to be a process. Just like the entire writing process of actually writing the book, revising, editing, and trying to publish it. It takes a process to get out of writer's block. And to see it pay off, you got to get through the setup. And whatever that setup is, whether it's through writer prompts, writing short stories, or even writing some character or world building lore. Whatever writing related material is available to you or at your grasp, take advantage of that. Anything that you can put your hand on, take advantage of it, and don't take it for granted. If you say that you want to write something, do it. And don't just let the day go by and like, oh, I never got to write anything. I wanted to do it, but, well, I just didn't do it. Well, that's because you chose not to. And writer's block is going to make you think that as well. Writer's block is going to make you, like, kind of procrastinate, to tell you the truth. And I experienced this plenty of times in 2023 and 2024. And even in 2025, like, it's so funny that writer's block has kept me from finishing my novel that I really want to finish. But writing something that keeps me motivated and it keeps me writing and it keeps my love for writing going after over 3 years of doing it. And it feels so great to have writing. Like, writing has truly changed my life. And without writing, I wouldn't be doing this today. I wouldn't be sitting here today talking to you all about writing. Because if I didn't love writing, why am I talking to you? Like, okay, so you're saying I'm doing this because what, for funsies? Well, yes, I do writing for fun, but I also do it as a passion. What I'm trying to say is, if you love to write, if you want to put something on your page, if you have this big idea that could be the next big thing, write it down, do the work, and don't take it for granted. So here's a little story from experience. Whenever I was in writer's block, but this was for my novella. So funny because I think of it to this day. So one time I went to a local library that hosted a creative writing session. So it was me and this other girl, and we were just writing some creative writing prompts. The first one was about if we were stuck in Fortnite, and I was thinking about a video game and like fantasy and all that stuff. The second writing prompt was about going fishing, and I was like, what story can I write about this? So I had this great idea of getting my novella series involved with one of the characters, because one of the main characters loved going fishing when he was younger. So I started the story as, okay, he woke up 5 in the morning to go with his dad to go fishing. He doesn't like waking up early in the morning, but he loves going fishing. And they're fishing for hours, and then they see this creature as like, oh my gosh, like, dad, like, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, pretty much. And the twist here is that we had to switch papers. Me and the person had to switch papers, and I was like, oh no, this person is not going to interpret the story like I originally wanted it to be. And we switched papers a couple times, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was crazy. And this was like a quick write. And I was like, wow. And what I wrote with her story, I was trying to write another story based on my novella series. And it really worked out. It really did. And when I got home, I was so amazed. And so many writing ideas came out of me the next few days that I even had a short story that came to me about the villain, and like, what if the villain had escaped, and then so many events had happened. And I even made like an alternate novella series. It was probably a novel series, but my point is, if I did not go to that creative writing session at the library, I think I would have still been on writer's block. I don't think I would have ever thought that idea. That was so mind-blowing and extraordinary. Sometimes, even through the smallest things can make the biggest difference, and it's really how you make of it. And whether or not that you take writing seriously. And there are going to be definitely times that you're going to be stuck with writing. But how are you going to get through it? How are you going to handle it? Because if you can't handle the little things, how are you going to do the big things, my dad said. Like, really? Because writing is a big thing. But if you can't get through writer's block, how in the world are you going to finish a story? If you want to write a novel, well, you can't even write a short story. How can you handle the pressure that a novel can bring you? And writer's block can happen at any time, no matter how long the story is. It's going to happen. There are going to be times that you're going to pause, and it's going to take some time. But it's how you're going to get through it. It's not about you going around it. You got to go through it. So what to take away from this episode? Well, number one, we're all going to go through writer's block, no matter who the person is. There's going to be a time that we're going to get to a certain scene in our story that we might love, and it's the best scene in the world. But we just don't know how to write it. Or the words are not coming to us. Maybe we're probably not in the mood to write that story at that moment. Or the words, they're just not there. And that's okay. Because writer's block is an obstacle. But we got to get through it. Number two, there are different ways that you can get out of writer's block. Overthinking the main story that you really want to focus on might keep you in writer's block. And some ways that you can get out of writer's block is to have writing prompts to get you started in writing and motivate you to write more when you actually get to your story. Or if your story is not coming to you like you want it, maybe write a different story. Write a short story to give you a nice appetizer, or just write something else, or write some character lore, write some world building lore. Write whatever that it can't be related to your story. Just as long as you're writing. Writer's block is going to leave you alone. Number three, even though writer's block is an annoying pest, don't take that for granted. Writer's block is this obstacle that everyone is going to confront. But the real question is how you're going to handle it and what you make of it. Is whether you're going to give in and just let writer's block win, or you're going to fight it like a punching bag and get yourself back to writing. And sometimes writer's block can be a good thing. And without writer's block, we might not realize when we're probably hitting our breaking point.